Hey friends, welcome back to Mimi's Mixed Bag. Thank you for stopping by, and if this is your first video of mine and like what you see, would love for you to hit that subscribe button. Today I'm bringing you another trash to treasure project. It's my favorite type of crafting, where you take something you would normally throw away, give it new life, and just make it beautiful again. Now, I was inspired by today's project by seeing a Santa made from a Pringles can, and I thought, how cute would it be to try to make a Scarecrow out of one? So I googled my idea, and of course, crafters' minds think alike. It has been done before. However, it hasn't been done the way I'm going to do it, and I hope you enjoy my end result. So what you're going to need is just an empty Pringles can. You're going to need a brown lunch sack, and then you're going to need some scrap fabric and paint and glue. And that's about it. Super simple. Just want to excuse what you're seeing behind me. My husband's in the process of painting my craft room, and so I have all my cubbies pulled out behind me. So I'm going to do a craft room tour here in a few weeks, and can't wait to share it with you. So I'm going to get everything set up and show you how to make it. All right, to get started, I'm going to go ahead and get my can prepped. I took my plastic lid off and put it to the side, and then depending on how thick your fabric is, it's just a good idea to give your can a couple coats of paint just to cover up all the potato chips and the logo. All right, I just grabbed whatever color I had. I had some Apple Barrel melted chocolate, and I put a couple coats on there, and that totally covered everything up. A Pringles can is 9 inches tall, so a third of it is going to be the face area, a third is going to be the shirt area, and a third of it is going to be the pants area. Now, when this brown completely dries, I'm going to paint a little face area with any kind of flesh color you have, or off-white creamy color. So I'm gonna go down about 4 inches, 3 or 4 inches, and paint the face area. Now, I went ahead and just prepped my scrap fabric, so you might want to screenshot this little index card so you'll know what size scraps you'll need. For the jeans or the pants, my piece is 10 by 4 inches. For the little ribbon belt I'm going to tie around the middle of him is approximately 20 inches. The little scrap fabric I have for his shirt is approximately 10 by 3 inches. And then the little bandana we're going to tie around his neck area is a 12-inch piece of fabric. I'm going to cut that down quite a bit because the whole square is too much for the can. So when I come back to you, I'll have my face area painted, and then I'll be ready to start hot gluing the fabric on. Now I'm just going to hot glue a strip of fabric for the shirt. That's my shirt area. Now I'm going to let my blue jeans overlap my shirt a little bit, like the shirt is tucked in. I don't think it really matters as long as it's hot glued neat. I'm going to hot glue the middle of my ribbon where the shirt and the pants meet. I'm going to turn it around here to the front, and just like I'm tying a belt. You could use raffia, you know, just look through your stash and see what you got. Anything could serve as his belt. Even a scrap piece of burlap or whatever. And you can cut off some of those tails. I'm saving the face last because sometimes after you get the hat on there, I might need to proportion it a little different, and I don't want to put the eyes too low or too high. To do the bandana, I'm going to cut this 12-inch piece of fabric diagonal. Even cutting it diagonal, this triangle is still too big for the can. So I'm actually going to round it, take that point off. So it's almost like a watermelon slice, something like that. And you're going to tie it to the side of the can. And then you can kind of pull it down and gather it up around his little neck area. So I'm gonna put my can to the side because I've done everything I can do to it except for just the face. Now here is how I'm going to do his hat. So you just have to trust the process, and it takes you about 10 minutes or so to make this hat. You're just gonna get a regular brown lunch sack. You're gonna put your hand in it and open it up, and you're going to squeeze it into a ball and open it back up at least 10 times. I'm not going to do it on camera because it's kind of loud, but I will speed it up. But you'll see how I crunch it up and open it up, and what that does is breaks down the fiber of this paper, and it gives it kind of a fabric texture to it. And we're going to mold this lunch sack into our Scarecrow hat. So I'll be back in just a few seconds with my softened bag. you scrunch it up, the softer it gets, but at least 10 times. I'm going to take it, and I think I failed to mention that you'll need a rubber band. I'm going to scrunch up the bottom of the bag and put a rubber band around it. That's the bottom of the lunch sack. And I'm going to take my scissors and cut some strips. And just kind of fluff out the top of the hat, and it's going to create some little fringes. Now you're going to take the top of the sack and roll it up 3 or 4 times, and that's going to create your hat brim. So just kind of roll it up like that. That is our Scarecrow hat. This is where we can bring our can back and add it to the top of our can and decide how we want to do the face, you know, where to place the eyes. If you follow along my channel, you saw that I did this little soap dispenser a few weeks ago. And I'm going to do this just a simple Scarecrow face using a Sharpie marker. Now the nose, I just used a piece of felt, piece of burlap, that would be fine, but just take a Sharpie marker, draw a little crookedy mouth, and do stitch marks. And then my eyes are just 2 jelly beans touching at the top and filling in the bottom half of the jelly bean. As far as the cheeks, you can take your actual blush makeup or take a little pink ink pad to make rosy cheeks. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my face on, maybe put a few little embellishments on the hat, and show you my Pringles can Scarecrow. I'll move in a little closer and give you a few little notes about the finishing touches. I took some jute twine and just tied around the rubber band to disguise it, and I hot glued a little flower on there. Now when I take the hat off, you could hot glue a little raffia on the sides of his head to give him some hair. But what I did was I added the plastic top back on there and filled it full of Halloween candy. And what a fun little gift to give anyone this time of year. So when I just slip his little hat back on there, it just makes it easy access to get in and out of the little candy container. As far as his bandana, I did cut off the point a little more so that more of his little shirt would show. I think it would be easier just to do a 12-inch strip of fabric. It needs to be 12 inches so you'll have enough to tie around his little neck area. You could put a little line here to make it look like he's got 2 legs, but I really don't think it's necessary. His face, just simple Sharpie marker and hot glued a little piece of brown paper there for his nose. So this little project took less than an hour and just makes an adorable decor piece or gift. So I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did making it, and I want to encourage you to jump over to Instagram in a couple days where I'm going to share my girls' trip to East Tennessee. We're looking forward to that, and I'll be back as soon as I can to share more fun fall projects. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.